Another brick fan with the 2021 Advent calendars. This is day one, so let's get started. I'm going to open up each day in the next 24 days, so I'll open up one day out of each of these calendars each day. I'm not going to do the Friends calendar because I'm not a huge fan of that, and I just wanted to do these four. I'm very excited for the Avengers Advent calendar, which is a new theme this year. Let's go over a bit of history and then we'll take a closer look at the boxes here. So first of all, LEGO started releasing Advent calendars in 1998. The first set was set number 1298, which you can see a picture of here. It was called the Basic Advent Calendar and it contained only 2 minifigures, one of them, of course, being Santa Claus. The rest of the days had these basic brick builds. The first City Advent Calendar was set 7324 and was released in 2005. Other themes that had at least one Advent calendar included Clickets, Belleville, Castle, Pirates, and Kingdoms. In 2011, the first Star Wars Advent Calendar was released, followed by the first Friends Advent Calendar in 2012. Then in 2019, we got the first Harry Potter Advent Calendar, bringing the total to 4 different Advent calendars that were released over the next couple of years. And now the 5th calendar has been added into the rotation, which is Marvel's Avengers. I'm not sure if that's going to continue. They're going to release one every year for a while or not. Like Harry Potter, this is the 3rd year in a row. Obviously, City has been around for 16 years, and Star Wars has been around for about 10 years up to now. Now that we've gotten a bit of history out of the way, let's go ahead and open up day one in each of these calendars. Here is the City Advent Calendar, and as you can see, day one is right here on the 3rd row on the first side. So let's get that opened up. And it looks like it is a truck. So here we have the truck for day one from City. You see there's a red tail light back here. It looks like a clear truck, obviously. And then the driver's compartment up in the front. I like how they use these. I like how they use these 4x4 plates with these rounded areas. Normally you'd put Technic pins in there. See, these are usually used as axles or wheels, but without putting anything else on them, still gives you the impression of the wheels. So makes for a good little truck model. Let's go ahead and move on to our next set for day one. Here we have the Star Wars Advent Calendar, and let's start with day one, which is right here. Open that up, and it looks like the Razor Crest. So here we have the Razor Crest. I think it turned out pretty good in this micro scale. The instructions took me a minute to look through them. There's a lot of pieces here, so you have to be really careful when you look at the instructions. But overall, a really good look for a micro Razor Crest. Let's move on to our next Advent calendar. Here is the Avengers Advent Calendar, and let's start with day one, which is here in row 3. And you'll see that that is Tony Stark. So here we have Tony in his Christmas sweater. You can see the flower in the middle, and then some other print here, a little stitching there. Here's his really good goatee and a nice face with a good hairpiece here. On the back, of course, it has Tony embroidered into or sewn into his sweater, which I thought was a nice touch and probably pretty common for Tony Stark. He does have an alternate expression which shows this heads-up display. so we can put the helmet on the top. This is the older style Iron Man helmet. It doesn't have the flip up piece where we've seen in a lot of other Avengers sets as well. Then he has these little clip that he can put for thrusters on his feet, as well as these little hand clip pieces with the trans blue so he can show off his repulsor lifts as well. So a good view of Tony Stark. Let's go ahead and move on to our next advent calendar. Here is the Harry Potter advent calendar, and we're going to start with day 1, which is down here in row 3. So we'll open this up, and it looks like we have the Privet Drive sign. There we have the sign for Privet Drive with a letter on top. So just a really simple double jumper plate here, and then the brown cylinders, then the Privet Drive sign. Now that we've gone through all 4 of the advent calendars, let's go ahead and look back at each of the builds for today. Here are the 4 builds from day 1. So starting with the city set, I've decided this is a bus. I think I originally said truck, but either way, it's a long vehicle with brakes in the back and a driver compartment up front here with this little ledge. So I'm going to say it's a city bus. And of course, this is probably very recognizable as the Razor Crest from The Mandalorian. The Star Wars Advent Calendar is definitely based on The Mandalorian. Lots of obvious Mandalorian references in that set. Here is from the Avengers, Tony Stark with his really nice Christmas sweater on. He also has these different accessories for blasters and thrusters and his Iron Man helmet, of course. And from Harry Potter, we have Privet Drive here. So it's a sign for Privet Drive, and then the letter here that is sitting on top of the post. The Harry Potter Advent Calendar is really based on year 1 at Hogwarts, and there's a little game that goes with getting from Privet Drive to Hogwarts for his first year. So there's our 4 builds here for day 1 of the Advent Calendars. I'm hoping you'll join me for day 2 tomorrow. Until then, happy building. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button and be sure to subscribe. I've left a link to some of my other review playlists up here on the screen.